和牧师的时间哦，谢谢他，真的是百忙中，他等一下还要再赶到台北去哎，对，所以我们就赶快把时间交给他，我们欢迎 Pastor。OK， 那我们的牧师他常常在我们的教会都会有那个英语的主日的讲道，那所以大家看到他都是比较正式的时候的那样的那个讲道的信息哦。那很难得他可以这样跟我分享他的非常的居家的家庭生活，我们把时间就交给他，我们再鼓掌一次好吗？No.
Oh, translation. You just have to understand me. Okay. This picture is a picture of a grandfather and a grandmother. And we have a treasure, that's our granddaughter. And she's a very special little girl because our own daughter went to the doctor and the doctor told her she could only have 20% chance to ever have a child. So then our daughter was crying, very sad. So we talked to her, we prayed with her. We said, we believe you will have a baby. So she had this little baby girl. So they gave her a special name because she's a gift of God. She's God's gift. So her name is God's gift. It's a Hebrew word, Shiloh. The Hebrew word Shiloh, it means God's gift. That's also her when she's older on the left side here, that's Shiloh. And then just a couple months ago, her mommy had a second child. So after she had the first child, we were thinking, well, can God do this again? I mean, he gave her one child, can he give her another child? So he did. So we named the new baby Sky. And she's also a treasure. Our treasure is in our children, in our family. This is a church in Honolulu. It's a beautiful church. It's in Hawaii, yes. You know, Honolulu is the big city in Hawaii, the biggest city. So a lot of people live there. This is one of the oldest churches. It's a very popular place to get married. So if you drive by the church, most of the time you'll see somebody there getting married, and most of the people are not from Hawaii. They're people from Asia. They're Taiwanese and Chinese and Japanese and Koreans. There's always somebody getting married in this place. This is a church in Hawaii, in Honolulu. It's Easter Sunday. This is a church that my son-in-law, I have a son-in-law, he is assistant pastor in this church, and this was Easter Sunday, so it's a very special day. And at part of the ceremony, they had some of the girls doing the hula dance, you know. That's a Hawaiian dance. This is also my granddaughter again. Afterwards, they have a little Easter egg hunt. You know, they're looking for Easter eggs, and she just found one there. And so she's showing us that Easter egg. So she's a little bigger here in this picture. She's still growing. That's a limousine. If you come to Honolulu, Hawaii, you'll see a lot of these because people like to come on holiday here, and they like to rent a limousine, and you can put a lot of people in one of these limousines, and then you see them driving all over the city, all over the place. It's fun to drive around in a limousine. Most people come for the beaches, and Hawaii is famous for having really beautiful beaches. It's another picture of a beach. And across the water is Honolulu on the other side there. And So if you'd like to go swimming and you enjoy the beach, then it's a fun place to come. People like to go surfing also. Now, that's also a picture on the left side of Honolulu, very far away. This is a picture inside of a military base. There are a lot of soldiers, American soldiers in Hawaii. It's the central place where we have our Navy. So there are a lot of Navy ships there and a lot of sailors, soldiers. That's another picture a little closer up. That's looking again at the city of Honolulu. This is a picture of my family down by the beach. That's my oldest granddaughter. That's my youngest grandson. And this is my daughter and my son-in-law. This is a picture of Waikiki, which is probably the most popular place to go to in Hawaii, and also the most famous beach. And this is my daughter, my son-in-law. Of course, that's me. This is also another picture of Waikiki, and way out here, these are people that are getting ready to surf. They're waiting for a big wave to come in, and then when a big wave comes in, they get up and they try to ride it. This idea of surfing comes from the Hawaiian people. They invented the surfing in the beginning. This is also Waikiki. It's a very beautiful part. This here is a picture of a Hawaiian man, and you see he's blowing a big seashell, and that was part of their culture. These are some native girls, some Hawaiian girls. They're giving a little presentation of Hawaiian dancing in Waikiki. And if you go to Waikiki, they do this about 3 or 4 times a week. In the evening, they'll have a special presentation. This is my son-in-law and me. We're in a hotel, which is close by there. It's one of the largest hotels, and there are a lot of beautiful hotels there. This picture along the shoreline. This is my second daughter, Charlene. That's her husband, Andrew, and that's a picture of Shiloh when she was younger, when she was still a baby. She's God's gift, and this is taken down at the beach. It's another picture of them also with their daughter down at the beach. This is another picture of my son-in-law and my youngest grandson. His father named him Israel from the Bible, Israel. This is his older brother, who is my oldest grandson, and his name is Ezekiel. And so, actually, this picture was taken a couple of years ago. This is a little more recent picture. This is also the same grandson, Ezekiel, and then that's his daddy, and he's a pastor in that church that I showed you. And then this lady here is our first daughter, Corinne. This is our oldest granddaughter, Kayla, and they gave her a Hawaiian name. She was born in Hawaii, and her other brother was born in Minnesota. This is another picture of our granddaughter. You can see this special clothing. That's Korean clothing, because she's part Korean. You know, my wife is Korean. So our grandchildren are many races. Like me, I am 5 races. I'm from England and Ireland and Scotland and Holland and Norway. So I'm 5 races all put together. And so then our children and grandchildren also are part Korean. Then her daddy is also part Indian. So she's actually part American Indian and some French and some German, and it's all mixed together there. This is our grandson when he was a baby. This is him when he's a little older. This is Israel, and this is his brother here. It's an older picture, Ezekiel, and Grandpa's there with his favorite joy, playing with his grandkids. So when I go to Hawaii, I spend a lot of time with my grandkids, and I become a child. And we play and we have a lot of fun together because we love our grandchildren. They're very special. This is their daddy, and this barbecue. Now, I wanted to show you this picture. This is a little different barbecue than you have here. The barbecue you have here is very small, and I've cooked on a Taiwanese barbecue, but that's an American barbecue, and it's very popular. And so we're getting ready for a special dinner here, and Daddy is working hard. This is a picture of the North Shore Beach with our granddaughter. This is on the opposite side of the island, and if you really like to go surfing, that's where you will go, because that's where they have the bigger waves. If you go to Honolulu and Waikiki Beach, the waves there are smaller, and so you can't have as much fun, so you have to drive all the way to the other side of the island. They call it the North Shore, and to this beach here, and so the waves are much bigger, and it's a much better place. This is a picture of our second daughter. Her name is Christine, and she also lives there in Hawaii. All 3 of our daughters live there. Again, another picture of my granddaughter, Shiloh. And something that they enjoy doing a lot too is swimming in the pool. And there's a lot of swimming pools also in Hawaii. If you want to go swimming, you don't have to go swimming in the ocean. You can go swimming in the swimming pool. And so this is my second daughter. These are my grandchildren. See, they got him floating on an air mattress there. Let's see, and behind him is his mother too. Also swimming in the same pool and having a lot of fun. This pool is in the apartment where my second daughter lives with her husband. This is another Hawaiian church, and it's also a very old church, like the very first church I showed you. It's over 100 years old, this church here. And the Hawaiian people received Christianity a long time ago. Back in 1820, the first missionary came to Hawaii. Let's see, I had to write his name down. It's Hiram Bingham. His name was Hiram Bingham. And he preached the gospel to the Hawaiian people. And at that time, the queen of the Hawaiian people became a Christian. And also 6 of the leading chiefs. They were leaders of the Hawaiian people, and many of the Hawaiian people also were converted and became Christians at that time. And so in Hawaii, you find some very old churches like this one. And this church here is very special because, and this is a picture of my wife with our second daughter, Charlene, and we were a little sad on this day because we had to give away our daughter, and so that's her